Welcome in, chatters. Welcome in, chatters. Welcome in, chatters from every corner of the world to the most international political show on Twitch. It is the 14th of February. Happy Valentine's Day to all you Catholics. Happy Wine Day to all you based Orthodox chads. It is 5:13 and we are starting out today's stream strong. But first, I must ask you, will you be my Valentine? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. How are we doing? How are you spending this fine day? And why did you choose me to be your Valentine is the main question. Any of you getting laid tonight, or you're getting laid all the time? So you're being a hipster about it and not getting laid on Valentine's Day. My partner's not here. She's in Turkey. She's trying to find a wedding dress. So in Istanbul, Constantinople, depending on who you ask. So respectfully, as they say, I am many levels past Valentine's Day. We at that wife stage, bro. We at that wife stage. And those of you who don't know, like it's incredible. Like if you are Orthodox, all your wives, all your women usually. I'm sorry that I'm gendering this, but it is very gendered. All the women who have watched many a Hollywood movie are like, yo, what are we doing for Valentine's? And Orthodox people have like this Orthodox men have this ultimate excuse to get away, and it's called Saint Trifun. Okay, Saint Trifun is actually the main saint for this day, and he's the getting fucked up drunk saint. He's literally the getting fucked up drunk saint. So, based Orthodox priests were like, man, okay, the Catholics are trying to get all the women by saying, yo, we're gonna have a day specifically dedicated to going on dates and buying each other flowers and gifts and consuming, okay? Consuming really, really hard. And then the Orthodox Church was like, we got to have our own Valentine's Day thing. What should it be? What if we put the saint that represents winemaking and wine drinking on that day? What if we try to get all the bros, okay? That is why Catholicism is a girl's game and Orthodoxy is a boy's game. Join, or I don't know why I'm gendering it anymore. We are in the 21st century. I will degender it. I will degender it. If you want to get shit-faced on the 14th of February, Orthodoxy shall welcome you. If you want chocolate and flowers, enjoy your Catholic way of life. Well, yes, Saint Trifun, it's pretty crazy. Welcome in, chat. How we doing today, man? I was away for 2 days. I was at my mom's place. I hung out with my mom. My mom is cool. I ate too much. I ate far too much, and now I am fat again. And I am farting like crazy because too much organic food. The body can actually process it. It's not made out of cardboard, wrapped in plastic, shoved into a burrito or some other form of bread. So yes, I am Big Chungus, but I am back now. We will be streaming today and tomorrow, and I am very excited for it. It is very nice to see you. What are your plans? No joke. What are your plans? Glasses? You like the glasses, by the way? I like the glasses. I'm trying to, style the mask a little bit. Have some fun with it. Sinče, jedeš li ti šta? Oslabio si mi. That's every time. And my grandma also comes. It's absurd. They are terrorists for my calorie consumption. They suicide bomb my discipline. All of us Catholics now need to buy the Vatican's recommended stock list, just as Jesus would have wanted. Ay. Are you consuming today on this great and holy holiday? Are you showing your appreciation and love over your partners by buying things? Are you buying things? Well, if you're buying things coded, you can buy me a subscription or a gift. Ah, yeah, baby! I snuck that one in there. Oh my God. Fucking wiggled with no lube. Fucking bareback. Wah, wah, shoo, right in that motherfucker. Okay. Welcome in, cunts. Proverike at grede. That is interesting. Okay. Welcome in, motherfuckers. Let's get started. Apparently, this was a shouting match. Apprentice, thank you. Valentine's Day. How can I put discount? It's Valentine's Day. I want to discount. How do I discount? Stream manage goals clip. How do I discount subs? I'm gonna discount subs for you cunts today. How do I do that? Cuphead, do this. How do I do this? Cuphead, help me discount gifts right now. Thank you for the bits. Poem for your Valentine. Roses are red, Charlie Kirk in the soil. I love you more than the U.S. loves oil. Not bad. Okay, let's start out with this irrelevant shit. I want to start out with a nice little fucking Yankee shouting match. Navigate to your creator dashboard monetization. Monetization. And then subscriptions and enable shared gift subs and discounts. Start my promo. Eto, motherfuckers, this is my gift to you for Valentine's motherfucking Day. Okay, you got 35% off. Is it working? Is it 35% off? It's 35% off? I think it's 35% off. So let's oil this shit back to 3,000. Let's fucking gamba. Let's celebrate Valentine's Day. I'm going to put you in my cradle and fucking shake you. What? What the fuck was that supposed to mean?
Did he work for Mossad? It's more like Mossad was working for Epstein.
I could have gotten him no jail time. If he had told me he was an intelligence source, it would have been a slam dunk for me.
Hang on a second. If he'd said he was working with the Mossad, then
right,
he would get off being a pedophile.
You have the FBI, you have the DOJ, you have unlimited resources, and the US government responds like, hey guys, let the internet figure it out. You want some guy on Reddit cross-referencing flight logs at 2 a.m. while he's eating Cheetos?
You're lying, you're defaming me.
You
are now going to be sued. You are now going to be sued.
I will sue you.
The latest release of the Epstein files has shone an unforgiving light on the shocking judgment and tawdry behaviour of many VIP men. We've covered the revelations
VIP man, bro.
Not least as they've plunged the British government and royal family into historic...
Orchestral music for a talk show is so funny. Yeah, they're really trying to pivot to the whole circus thing. Like, it is a gladiator battle between some of the greatest intellectuals of our time. Jew versus brown man. From time to time, we will introduce based leftist white man and based right-wing white man from America. Who will win this great battle of ideas? Brown man, Jew man, or as always, the white man in between? We have a Britoid to stand as judge, juror, and executioner and decide the future of our world. Is any of this relevant to actual policy? Is any of this relevant to actual changing of opinion of the larger masses? Of course not. But it shall be circuses and it shall be bread. So sit down and enjoy yourself, for today is Valentine's Day and we should not take ourselves too seriously. Woo!
crisis. But many regular contributors to this show and many of our viewers say the media is missing or willfully ignoring the big story, that Epstein was an Israeli operation. That's what
Israel.
Why is the media not touching Jeffrey Epstein's clear connection to Israel? Asked Mehdi Hassan. Without question, the theory that Epstein was an intelligence asset makes a lot of sense. He had a vast and mostly unexplained wealth. He kept meticulous and exhaustive records. He obsessively curated VIP friends who he invited to luxury properties wired for surveillance. He got an
We all know this. I want men shouting at each other. I want men shouting at each other. First, the base leftist man, okay?
Uncensored. There are...
And the ring is entered by the first contestant, a based Western leftist white man. What is your opinion and how will you link this to Israel?
So many files here, and I have noticed just on an almost daily basis now, there's a lot of stuff.
Piers Morgan, why did Epstein not invite me to one of his parties? Okay, I don't care if he was Mossad, if he was KGB, or if he was CIA. Why was I not invited? Was I not handsome enough? Is he racist against British people?
Been there about Israel.
I mean, he dated one of our women. Maybe he didn't like our men because he was dating one of our women. Classic American anti-British colonialism.
About David Barak, about Epstein, and people are beginning to put all this together and saying that actually what initially was dismissed as a kind of
I'm halfway through a bottle of brandy for my toothache, purely medicinal. You will need to finish the bottle, they say, in order for your tooth to stop hurting. Unfortunately, it is dry February. You want to hear a fucked up thing? Remember when I told you that I'm doing dry February, but I will only have one day when I can drink. Only one day when I can actually drink. And during the entirety of February. It was supposed to be tomorrow night because a Ukrainian friend of mine said that he's going to celebrate his birthday. Motherfucker hasn't been writing anything to me for the last 3 days. I'm like, is this guy going to organize something? Like, I low-key want to go to his birthday more to drink more than, show him love and appreciation. And I text him this morning and this cunt says he's sick and he's not going to celebrate. Motherfucker is sick and he's not going to celebrate. So probably I'll just get shit-faced after the stream today and just imagine that it was his birthday. Does that count? Does that count? Does it count? Can I still call it dry February? A little bit. A little bit. That's valid. Thank you. Comrade Internet. Comrade Internet says it's valid. That means it's valid. Oh, la, 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 la. Man, energy levels are spiking. Dude, I have this ring thing, and it's been telling me that I've been getting very good sleep. I have, my resistance level is strong. One level under exceptional. Apparently, I'm very healthy. That's the weird thing. I am a dedicated drinker and a dedicated living on 3 hours of sleep guy. This has helped me lower the drinking a little bit and increase the sleeping a little bit. And I'm fucking charts, oxygen levels, heart rates, heart problems, everything. Everything fucking bombona. Bonbon. My liver is a little bit fatty, but we can fix this. 15 days. I haven't drank for 15 days. That means the liver is already fixed. That's how science works. It doesn't for your body. You don't have the Slavic genome, okay? Eugenics are 100% wrong, except for Slavs, okay? Slavs are genetically stupid, aggressive, violent, but also have a liver 7 times the size of any other regular human. We get unhealthy if we do not consume ethanol. You heard it from Dr. Yugopnik. How dedicated to drinking. I'm practicing my purity testing lately. Healthy to spite Hakeem. Unironically, he gets so pissed off. I send him my blood work almost every year. And he knows what kind of a life I lead, okay? And I send him my blood work and it's great. And he molds like a little bitch. I love that man. He's my blood brother. I would scalp motherfuckers for Hakeem, but I love pissing in his mouth when it comes to this. I love pissing in his mouth. He's looking at this this is not supposed to be the way it is. I'm like, eat my ass. Eat my ass. Jeans, buddy. Little boy. I tap him on his little head. Spiritually dwarven. Yes, brother. What about Muslim Slavs? Extremely based as well. Have you never heard of some of the most practicing, principled Muslims that genuinely are incredibly good human beings, pray, do everything, but drink? Welcome to Bosniaks. Any Bosniaks in chat? I don't know if you guys have been to Bosnia. You can walk down Sarajevo, dude. You can walk down Sarajevo and you will see big restaurants and it will say 100% halal. Big signs, 100% halal on the restaurant. And you walk in, and the second you walk in, there's a big sign that says draft beer on tap unlimited. You gotta adapt to the local cultures, I guess. I don't know. Like Kazakhstan. Yeah, Kazakhstan's pretty Muslim as well. But yeah, no, Muslim Slavs that don't drink, they just can eat more. The liver is also heavily damaged. Usually you damage your liver by the way you eat, by the way. Nobody drinks that much anymore. Medicine, if you over-medicate whenever you're sick, you can't survive a little tummy ache, so let's take 12 pills. Like if you're that guy and you're wiggling your hand at like your bro that drinks beers from time to time, or like, you're gonna die so early, you drink so many beers. While motherfucker literally has Walter White's chemical lab fucking inside of his liver, like fucking explosions, fucking meth being generated from how many pills they take every fucking day. And be like, oh, you drink beer, that's so bad for you. Motherfucker, like I can, you literally smell like heroin. Motherfucker perked up on cough syrup, dude. I don't have an addiction. You have an addiction. Bruh. Motherfucker here losing his fucking shit about me drinking a couple of vodkas, eats fucking McDonald's 4 days a fucking week. Dude, you have a worse liver than me. Why? Do you understand the medicine, brother? Do you understand how it works? I don't think you understand biology. Oh, Lord. Of course Romania is considered Balkan. What is this evil question? Anti-Romanian sentiment will not be tolerated in this chat. Anti-Romanians get fucking Romanians out of there. Hakeem wakes up in a cold sweat, wondering how your blood work comes back the way it does. It's like everything cancels itself out. The cure to everything is in Slav DNA. I mean, I have been known to say that. I have been known to say that everyone should become Slav. Anyways, 35% off subs. Let's celebrate Valentine's Day. Buy me a Valentine's gift. Buy your fellow chatter a Valentine gift. Let's reach Gamba and let's have a great motherfucking time. Now let's watch White Man battle it out about the Jew.
Conspiracy theory may well be closer to the truth, that Epstein may well have been some kind of Israeli.
BBDD. Thank you, baby. Thank you very much for the 5. Very kind of you. Let's go. Paint the chat purple. Paint the chat purple. Purple is the color of Valentine's Day, not red. Red has been taken as intellectual property of the communist cause. We can give you purple. Best I can do is purple.
Agent, but potentially working.
Fuck, being drunk makes me buy subs apparently. Then get more drunk.
With Mossad. But you've studied these files in a lot more detail than most. Mm-hmm. What is your assessment of that?
I mean, it's not a simple question. It doesn't have a simple answer.
Keep in mind, apparently we have access to 2% of all of the files.
What I'd first tell people is just Google or use a search engine that functions. Drop site news, Epstein, Israel, and you'll find a series of stories that we have published already and that we're consistently adding to. But then you can also ask yourself just some basic questions. All right, how did he get an Austrian fake passport? I mean, a real passport with a fake name in 1982. Like there aren't many regular people that can get, fake passports to help them travel around the world. Another important thing to understand is that 3 of the people that he is very closely associated with in the 1980s are Stan Pottinger, who is a attorney who is known to have moved money for the CIA during Iran-Contra, Adnan Khashoggi, who is like the banker during Iran-Contra, he's moving money and weapons, a Saudi figure, and Douglas Lease, a weapons contractor. He was a protege to Douglas Lease. He was a business partner to Stan Pottinger at the time that Stan Pottinger was, heavily involved in Iran-Contra, and he was, he knew and he ran in the same circle as Adnan Khashoggi, and he has a fake passport. So, and then he emerges out of Iran-Contra, with enormous amounts of, wealth and power and connections. So, and then of course there's the Robert Maxwell connection, Ari Ben-Menashe, who I don't know if you've had him on your program. You should, if you haven't. Former Israeli intelligence official himself has said that Epstein knew Maxwell. Whether or not he did, that's an open question. Just those connections alone, and then for Netanyahu to say that, well, okay, he was very close with Ehud Barak, therefore he had nothing, to do with Israeli intelligence is absurd. Ehud Barak, played a central role, however you want to define it, in Iran-Contra. He was an Israeli intelligence official. Throughout the 1980s, he becomes prime minister, becomes minister of defense. Another, top Israeli spy who is a protege of Ehud Barak, Yoni Koren, stayed for like weeks at a time at Epstein's apartment in Manhattan. So I think the public hears all of this information, and it's like, okay, I kind of think we get it. What is confusing is that, did he work for Mossad? That part is confusing, because if you think of Mossad as
Mossad to an extent worked for him. They exchanged information, etc., etc. It's exceptionally obvious. And even if he did not work for Mossad directly, he arguably did better than the average Mossad agent when it comes to bettering the position of Israel in public, the discourse, in when it comes to how Israel itself is perceived, etc., etc., etc. Okay, this is about when talking about Epstein, we're talking about somebody who managed to turn most of the elite educational institutions of the United States into exceptionally Zionist coded, which indirectly led to most people exiting those elite institutions being wrapped in ideological Zionism and then spreading it in their corporations, in their political movements, etc., etc. He was a massive lobbyist for the Zionist cause amongst many of the world's elites, and he was really, really good at getting as much money towards the Zionist cause as possible from people that had a lot of cash but were not necessarily knowledgeable about who to give it to. So, well, this conversation is going to be interesting on whether he was literally an asset. The conversation on whether he was an asset in general is not one that is up for discussion. To repeat myself, if somehow Epstein was not communicating or working with Mossad, then Mossad is more incompetent than I would have thought, because this man was worth 100 agents. Okay? What in one lifetime he managed to achieve for Israel is mind-boggling. So for us anti-imperialists, the main question should be, was Epstein a Zionist not only in belief, but in action? Yes, he was. And that is something that should be repeated time and time and time again. Eagle M16. The perfect rifle for the perfect soldier. Thank you very much for your gifties and your taxes. Darkwing. Thank you for the tenor, baby, at 35% off. Thank you very, very much. First Western taxpayer of the day. I love it when you pay taxes because you have cuck in your name. And that makes everybody who's not paying their taxes feel even lower than a cuck. Ha! What about Ghislaine Maxwell? She is linked to Zionism by blood. And now you're going to take out your anti-Semitic pitchforks here, but I mean by family blood. Her father was one of the most successful, if not the most successful, lobby kingpins for the Zionist cause in the United Kingdom. When he died, some of the most important Israeli spies, intelligence officials, even heads of state came to his funeral. They saved him from bankruptcy many times, and he saved them from political scandals many times. So, Ghislaine was bred under Mossad mantra in her home. And then she met and dated and lived with the world's most famous billionaire pedophile, who also dedicated a very large portion of his life towards what? Towards proliferating the idea that Palestinians are not humans and that the colonizer project of Israel deserves to continue. So both of them very highly implicated. Listen to an episode we did over on the D program with a very good journalist on the Ghislaine connection. It was, I believe, 3-4 months ago.
Or any spy service as a spy service. Like, what is it in service of? These spy services are in service of extraordinarily powerful kind of multinational global networks of individual figures. And so it's not as if, is Mossad or something like that, he was working for them. It's more like, that Mossad was working for Epstein. Now that's putting it quite too simply, but if you understand, the way that power works at, the top global levels, they are able to direct the services.
What Cuphead said, let's reach level 10. You got 35% off. Today should be a beautiful purple chat day.
Of these different, agencies, rather than him like filling out a W-9 and sending it into Mossad.
Maxwell's made Epstein. That could be a legitimate point, but one could argue that Epstein pulled the Maxwells out of political irrelevancy, especially after Maxwell's father just randomly died on a boat.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to unpack there. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the references we've identified that have come from the latest dumper files. In 2018, Epstein asked Ehud Barak in an email to make clear I don't work for Mossad, which in itself is quite an intriguing instruction to a former Israeli prime minister.
I don't work for Mossad
30 seconds left of level 6. Let's make that a nice level 7.
T-shirt is raising all these questions, yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's like, why are you saying that? In 2017, Epstein asked Barak if someone had asked him to help obtain former Mossad agents to do dirty investigations and so on. There are lots of these kind of quite cryptic messages going on. I guess the obvious, response I would have is, well, why wouldn't he be? I mean, he was perfect territory, I would have thought, for an organization like Mossad to want to recruit, given how far his tentacles spread around the globe, around rich, powerful, famous people. In the same way that when people have suggested that there's a lot of references to Russia and Putin and so on in there as well, that wouldn't surprise me either. He was clearly recording people for some form of compromat. Maybe it was self-protective, or maybe he was doing this for large sums of money on behalf of foreign states. I mean, I've reached the point with the Epstein scandal where I'm pretty much prepared to entertain any conspiracy theory until I see concrete evidence it's not true.
It would be, you're right, it would be malpractice on the part of Israel or any spy agency at this point not to have attempted to recruit somebody like him who had the access, obviously utterly amoral or immoral in character. This is and knows how to move money around, knows how to do money laundering, knows how to do weapons trafficking, knows how to traffic in commodities. Like this is a very valuable asset. And it's important to understand there's a difference between an agent who's like hired by Israel, to go out and infiltrate. Or
by the way, those are agents. I really like this guy. I don't know why I'm being a dick to him now, but you have CIA officers. Those are people that are hired by the CIA and work for the CIA. And then assets, which are recruited to work for the CIA, but did not their full-time job isn't being in the CIA. They're called agents. Okay, so officers, you're a CIA officer. You work 100% for the CIA. But then a CIA officer finds a billionaire pedophile that likes to record a lot of people and reaches out to him and says, yo, you want to on the down low work for us as well? They become a CIA agent. Very niche. I don't know. I'm being a dick for no reason.
Do assassinations or whatever they do. And an asset who is somebody who you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And it appears like he's much more kind of in that realm. It's also important to understand what he and Barak were doing for the 15 years, I guess the 5 years or so after he left his office of Minister of Defense, and then Epstein died. They were, central to the kind of expansion of the Israeli kind of cyber weapons program, which itself is very connected to the Israeli state itself and has helped shape what web surveillance, cyber surveillance
Ryan is amazing. Easily one of my favorite journos. Same.
looks like around the world now, because all of these multinational major corporations you've heard of are just scooping up all of these Israeli startups that are themselves filled with.
He is exceptionally good at getting whistleblowers and people inside of what is traditionally defined as right-wing institutions to get it disillusioned and to reach out to Dropsite News in general, and him specifically. It's very good.
People who came out of Unit 8200, and Barak is one of the key players in the growth of that industry, and Epstein was with him every single step of the way.
Yeah, and there are direct references in the files. There's a confidential informant to the FBI that Epstein was employed by Mossad. An FBI report from the Los Angeles field office in October 2020 said the Bureau's source had become convinced Epstein was a co-opted Mossad agent. It said Epstein had been trained as the spy for Mossad, alleging he had ties to the US and allied intelligence operations through his longtime personal lawyer, Alan Dershowitz. I can ask Alan in a moment about that. Also said Jared Kushner.
Like this also listen, you when you actually train people, you train them to infiltrate particular institutions so that they can get assets. Either steal stuff, kill people, or steal human beings, aka get human assets, get agents that are going to be operating in a particular institution or in a particular country. The most valuable thing you can get, arguably, is a person that already has a life, that has already embedded themselves in this or that hall of power, that already has organic connections, that already has, quote-unquote, organic power. Somebody that is not, on who you don't have to spend decades and tens of millions of dollars on properly setting inside of a particular movement, institution, corporation, government, state, etc., etc. Those are the most valuable guys because they are both low cost and the stuff you can get from them are immediate. That's why officers working in intelligence agencies, low-key, I've studied this, but I don't want to say. I've talked to people that just say that. The best thing you can do, and they are constantly headhunting, is finding people who are already very, very well accomplished in a particular field, in a particular country, and then reach out to them. People that they find interesting. Why is this relevant in particular when it comes to Epstein? I don't see him being bred by Mossad, being created. Sure, his life is very strange, and the way he did his social climbing is pretty mind-blowingly fast, low-key impressive. But it wasn't to the scale and the direction. It's too random for it to have been, let's say, designed from the get-go. Most likely, he became an asset, became an agent as a way to garner himself power and, of course, to serve what he at that time probably considered the big, strong guy that he always allied himself to. So, yeah, I don't think he was made by Mossad, but I think he definitely collaborated with them. Thank you for 6 months. I don't think so. And thank you for the 5 gifties, baby. Thank you very much for your taxes. Let's go. Numba, go up. They uses mice to get assets, money, ideology, compromise, and ego. Sometimes revenge too, but that's more rare. Yes.
No. President Trump's son-in-law and his brother Josh, a financier, were both his students. Now, there's no independent evidence to corroborate that. This is one of many kind of intriguing references in there. And I should say as a caveat, there are obviously many things in the document dump, which are outlandish and just tips that have come in, which, you know, are obviously complete nonsense. But there's certainly enough meat on the bone here. Right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and that has to be made clear with all of this stuff. But, you know, the mere fact of his incredibly close relationship with Ehud Barak, and as you say, working on this cyber stuff, I mean, that alone shows that he's certainly very, very close to the higher echelons of Israeli political life. You know, maybe he wasn't a fully paid up Mossad agent, but he was certainly what I would categorize as somebody right in there with the Israeli hierarchy.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And he's not the kind...
Listen, Epstein's entire life was him garnering favors from different people, either by glazing them up or by intimidating them. If he can create a bond and a connection with an agency whose state and project he has served many times, pro bono basically, Epstein would. And there's no world in which Mossad would not reach out to Epstein. This man literally re-engineered some of America's most important educational institutions into basically Zionism spawn grounds. Fucking spawn camping that shit. So yes, they definitely reached out. And he definitely said yes. Because this man said yes to everyone. He wanted to create an ecosystem around him that would make him basically invincible. And when fucking Mossad reaches out to a man with so little scruples, you better believe he's going to say yes. This is not me putting on any sort of conspiratorial hat. It would be insane to believe that he would tell them to fuck off. This man, who worked with Qataris, Emiratis, Israelis, Americans, French, German, ex-prime minister, Rothschild, fucking supra-state shit, blah, blah, blah. What? Wanted to hang out with leftist and right-wing intellectuals as a way to build up his image and enter more and more exclusive halls of power. You're telling me that if Mossad reached out with an offer of either protection or additional information, that he would say no? I don't think we live on the same planet. What's up, James? Did any of you ever stop to think that he was just really great at using a Texas Instruments calculator? I always think about that. What you could do back in the day with just a Texas Instruments calculator, eh? Nowadays, you got to do so many other things. It's so much more difficult for a man to get ahead. Back in the day, you just fuck a couple of kids and reach out to Mossad. Now you got to work.
Kind of guy that needs to invoice for service.
That's why I'm making it easy for you. 35% off on subs. I understand it's much harder for you than when Epstein was going up. So pay your taxes. Valentine's Day. Happy Lover's Day. I'm kissing you with the discount.
Like he's so far beyond that world. You know, even if he wasn't a complete, you know, he's always referred to as a billionaire. So let's take that at face value. If not, he's worth hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And what he's doing is he's, you know, striking cybersecurity deals with Ivory Coast, with Nigeria, with Mongolia, with, you know, South American countries, just around the world. And his relationships with the upper echelons of the Israeli government, you know, which allows, you know, which because it is, you know, a state recognized by the United Nations, you know, allows kind of groups of people who otherwise would just be kind of gangsters going around the world to operate, you know, through, you know, semi-official channels. He's the guy that's operating in the gray zone, and then in the end, you come in and, you know, make an official, like, corporate and then, you know, state to state agreement. That's how he's getting paid, being the middleman there, not by invoicing Mossad for his services.
Today's show is sponsored by Veracity, and their mission have the
up to a couple $1 billion were stashed away in these, you know, secret slush funds that were controlled mostly by the Israelis, because the Israelis were the middlemen. The CIA had their own slush funds as well that were coming off of the profits that they were making from basically upselling weapons to Iran. Think about that, by the way. Netanyahu is here in Washington today urging Trump to bomb Iran because of this gigantic threat. In the 1980s, it was Israel and the United States who were arming Iran to the teeth and making a huge profit out of it. Out of that, they created this network of shell companies and slush funds that had to kind of secretly move constantly to avoid detection from people that are like trying to uncover money laundering. And Epstein's right in the middle of all of that. So you can imagine how somebody comes out of that with their with a significant amount of wealth to begin with, and from there he gets linked up with Les Wexner. We have a story even about how the planes that were involved in Iran-Contra, when the heat really got on them, Epstein moved those planes to Columbus, Ohio, so Les Wexner could use them for a couple of years, shipping his lingerie and Abercrombie and Fitch around the world. So there's really a direct line from this Iran-Contra scandal that creates this kind of shadow world of money laundering and kind of develops into the quasi like government criminality that we have today, to then Les Wexner and him becoming the power of attorney for Les Wexner, and then once you're locked in, he's the rich guy who also handles Les Wexner's money. Then you're in. Then you can start getting contracts with people like Leon Black and others, and it just snowballs.
Fascinating. Ryan Grim, I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Well, to debate all of these claims is Alan Dershowitz, author of The Preventive State and Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, this is what I've been waiting for, baby. Give me some of this
Bassem,
shit.
Youssef. Well, welcome to both of you. Alan Dershowitz, I know you...
Da-dum-dum-da-dum, Egyptian. Da-dum-dum-da-dum versus Jewish lawyer. Dum-da-dum-da-dum, who will win? Da-dum-dum-da-dum, the Brit will decide. Da-dum-dum-da-dum, the Slav will watch. Da-dum-dum-da-dum, will this impact anything? Da-dum-dum-da-dum, no it will not. Dum-da-dum-da-dum.
You said emphatically you do not believe Jeffrey Epstein was a spy. But as more and more stuff appears in these document dumps from the files, there is more...
Historically accurate battle. Not the Dersh. Sign the chick. What the fuck? What do you mean? What the fuck?
More stuff.
Da-dum-dum-da-dum.
Linking him to Israel, to Ehud Barak, to all sorts of stuff. Are you still as certain?
More so. Look at the chronology. As far as I know, he doesn't meet Ehud Barak until after he pleads guilty. And if he had been a spy before he pleaded guilty, the first person he would have told that was me. I was trying to get him the best possible deal. And I asked him over and over again, what can you tell me that will get you a better deal?
You know who Dersh reminds me of? I finished Better Call Saul. Reminds me of Saul Goodman, if Saul Goodman liked little children.
Do you have anything on Trump? Do you have anything on Clinton?
And settler
Do you have anything
colonialism.
about intelligence? He would have told me. Instead, in 1999, 1998, I was in Israel doing research for a book, and he called me from Paris saying, I want to come to Israel. I've never met any Israelis. I don't know anybody there. Could you arrange a lunch for me with Israel's 5 smartest people? And so I did. I got this.
Arrange the Jews for me. I am arriving in Tel Aviv. You must arrange all the high-quality Jews. Oh man, I love how that probably actually happened. Please don't bring me low-quality Jews. I want only the best Jews. I am landing in Tel Aviv.
Justice of the Supreme Court, the Attorney General, interesting people that I thought he would meet. And we had lunch, and then he and I took a walk in the Shuk, and I bought him a T-shirt which said, I'm a member of the IDF, kind of khaki T-shirt, and he loved it. He wore it. There's no possibility that...
Bro said, give me your smartest Jews immediately.
He was working for intelligence at the time I was representing him. Now we have a chronological issue. He meets Ehud Barak, but that's later. Did Mossad hire him after he was convicted? Well, maybe. Your previous guest talked about planes involving Victoria's Secret. Well, Wexner didn't buy Victoria's Secret until well after the early time. So one has to look at the dates. One has to look at the chronology. You know, I hate to pour water on a fascinating conspiracy theory. It's so much fun to talk about. But from what I know, I just don't see any evidence that he ever worked for the Mossad. And if he did, why wouldn't he have told me? I actually was a lawyer. I represented the Mossad back in the 90s when 3 Mossad agents were caught in Cyprus, and Cyprus thought they were working for Turkey. In fact, they weren't, and I helped to get them out. I have a very good relationship with the current head of the Mossad, the former head of the Mossad. Obviously, I've asked them that question, and there's no evidence at all.
Alan, I would say this. I would say this to you. You know, if I was to ask you about all the despicable crimes that Epstein was committing, right, you would say, because I think you've said it publicly, you didn't know about any of that, right? So, could it be that Jeffrey Epstein just had a completely different life that he just did not tell you about, and that included despicable human sex trafficking, and it may also have included being a spy. I mean, clearly, if he wasn't telling you about all the sex trafficking, which was a huge amount of his life, then why is it surprising if he kept the rest of it from you?
Well, it's very surprising because telling me about his sex life didn't help him. Telling me that he worked for the Mossad.
Sex life, bro. Sex trafficking is sex life. FML, when I accidentally traffic children. Dude, it's just a kink, bro. Come on. Get over it, bro.
Would have given him a
Bro, no kink shaming here, bro. I'm just low-key a pedophile.
Get out of jail free card. Remember, Jeffrey Epstein hated me before he died. He wrote all kinds of letters to Woody Allen as to what a terrible lawyer I was. He wouldn't.
Jeffrey Epstein wrote letters to Woody Allen about how much he hates the Dersh.
Didn't pay me my fee. He fired me because he thought I had gotten him a terrible.
Just all sentences that could ever be said have been said. There's no original sentences left. Did he just refer to Epstein's crimes as his sex life? Yes, he did, my friend. Yes, he did.
Deal, that famous sweetheart deal, he ended up 18 months in prison. He was outraged. He didn't want to spend a minute in prison. I could have gotten him no jail time. If he had told me he worked for the Mossad, for the CIA, he was an intelligence source, it would have been a slam dunk for me to go to whoever I had to go to, even up to the President of the United States, and I would have gotten him a deal with no time at all. Epstein...
Did this man just admit that even if you traffic little girls and you work for the State Department or for Tel Aviv, you can go and talk to any of those people and they will get you out of jail? Did this man also just indirectly admit to had done things like this? He just said, if he told me he worked for the CIA or for the Mossad, I could get him out of jail. Which, to repeat myself, implies that they could just get you out of jail. What's up, Maple? He didn't directly admit he's fucking bragging. He is fucking bragging. Laws are literally vibes.
Was a selfish SOB. He would do anything to avoid prison time. Why wouldn't he have told me that he worked for the Mossad if he worked for them?
Because they told him they'll kill him, and then they killed him. Maybe Mossad, maybe somebody else. That's why, you fucking dumb bitch.
Mossad. So, yeah, of course he's not going to tell me when I knew him as an academic acquaintance. He's not going to tell me he's having sex with young children. He hid that from everybody. He did have a separate life, a completely separate life. But once I was his lawyer, it was in his interest to tell me things that would benefit him. And I can't imagine anything benefiting him more than having worked for an intelligence agency. But I pressed him on
some
that,
people might
and
be.
he didn't.
I'll come to Bassem in a moment, but some people will be listening to this going, hang on a second, you mean if he'd said he was working with the Mossad or CIA, then he would get off being a paedophile? In other words, you can commit crimes
right.
of paedophilia
Well, he wasn't
against
accused of being
children,
No,
and you would simply not go to prison for it.
That's right. Let's be clear. He was charged with 2 counts. One, a 17-year and 10-month-old woman who he paid for prostitution. The other, a woman in her 20s who was a prostitute who he paid. Those were the only 2 things he pleaded guilty to. The only 2 things he's ever been convicted. He was never convicted of pedophilia. He was never convicted of trafficking. None of that. He may have done all of those things. But when I was representing him, all he was being charged with was these 2 counts of paying prostitutes, one who was 17 years old and 10 months. I could have gotten him no jail time for that if he had been a member of the Mossad. Any good lawyer could have parlayed his membership and his contribution to intelligence into a deal. Or, for example, if he had anything on Donald Trump or anything on Bill Clinton, of course any prosecutor would exchange this nobody, who nobody had ever heard of at the time, getting free from prison for, my God, the president, former president, future president. No, the best evidence is that he never, ever tried to tell me anything that would help him, that would support any of these theories about Clinton or Trump or the Mossad. So I am completely confident that he was not an intelligence asset. I wish, your previous guest is right. He would have been a perfect intelligence asset if I were the head of the Mossad. I would say, oh my God, now that I know who he knew, Bill Gates, everybody, the Sultan of this, the Sultan of that, sure, we try to recruit him. But they didn't know that at the time because he didn't have many of those friends back in the 1980s and 1990s. Many of them became his friends, ironically, after he got out of prison.
Okay, Bassem Youssef, you've been waiting patiently. Welcome back to Uncensored. What is your response to Alan Dershowitz?
Well, I think that what...
Shush, Yassem. Shush, shush. Sorry, I had to go get coffee. Look at this. Isn't fucking coffee. This is fucking milk with coffee. My machine went fucking insane. Look at this. The hell? Can you refocus, you dumb fucking camera? Focus on this. What is wrong with you? This is milk. The fuck? Weird ass. Want some coffee with that milk? It's a latte. This is too much milk even for a latte, I feel like. Milk featuring coffee. White Russian? I wish, bro. I'm low-key thinking of having a drink. Fuck it. It's... God damn it. I don't know. I'll see.
What Mr. Alan Dershowitz just said is the best recruitment video for Mossad. Basically, they're telling people, if you're Mossad, you can get away with anything. The same thing that will happen with Tom Alexandrovich, the cybersecurity guy from Netanyahu's government who was arrested in Nevada for trying to lure a minor in an FBI stint operation, and he got off the hook. He traveled. He didn't even have to attend his trial.
That's why I reacted as intensely earlier. I can't believe they're saying it in the open. Join Mossad. Do you like children? Join Mossad. Do you like raping? Join Mossad. Do you like killing? Join Mossad. Do you have corpses under your house and you're afraid of getting caught? Join Mossad. We can save you from anything and everything. Just join Mossad.
He did Zoom from Israel. And like Ori Solomon, just a couple.
But like, we're joking, but that's unironically how intelligence agencies function, okay? If it's not the carrot, then it's the stick. And sometimes it's the potential stick that works the best. The potential stick being, yo, bro, I know you killed your wife. We can prove it, but we will make sure nobody knows as long as you help us. Is that okay, wife killer man? That is great. Yes, I serve the state of Israel. And then you serve the state of Israel or the CIA or the FSB or whoever. I mean, that's the recruitment ad they've been putting out on TikTok for the IDF for the last 3 years. That is very fair, my friend.
A couple of days ago, there was a biolab in Nevada that nobody...
Want to do crimes with impunity? Join the IDF. Yes, 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 yes. And most intelligence agencies basically work like this. I mean, I know it's very cliche, but like that 007 movie, License to Kill, is what you get when you join some of these things, okay? Especially the alphabet agencies that work abroad, not domestically. There your hands are the opposite of tied. You are encouraged to do scorched earth whenever you motherfucking can. But then when you do get home and you're implicated in anything that is problematic, now you're a representative of the larger agency. And now I'm talking about officers. And they will do everything in their power to protect you because you're one of theirs. And if you're an agent, aka an asset that has been recruited, then they, of course, will protect their asset because they've already invested an insane amount of money, time, and effort into getting somebody that's as embedded in a particular institution, state, or corporation. So they will protect you.
He's actually talking about. Actually, as a matter of fact,
I forgot. 1 hour. We have hit 1 hour. The first tower has fallen. The first tower has fallen, which leads us to the first. Oh my God, that actually worked. The first grift session of the day for $6 a month of a free through Prime and at 35% off for 5+ gift subs for only the next 4 hours. You can become a child soldier or elevate others to child soldier level. Subscribe, pay your taxes, oil me up, and support a show that uses 0% ads, 0% sponsors, and 100% Valentine's Day discount lube. I have lubed you up with the discount. Now, all it takes is for you to put it in. Thank you very much. Trick the Rogue. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Is it obvious I worked in advertising? Barry Balls! What is up, Barry? You waited until the last second to hold me up this week. Thank you very much, baby. Oh, yeah! 35% off, going once, 35% going twice. This time 15 times. Let's gamble today at discount. Let's have some fun. Thank you for all the Valentine's Day gifts, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm like one of those boyfriends that like buys you extremely sexy lingerie for Valentine's Day. You know, like buys you a gift, but it's basically a gift for him. By gifting you the 35% off for Valentine's Day, I'm basically like, sure, I'm gifting you something, but I am also gifting myself something. White Papa John is always paying their taxes on time. Thank you, Papa John. Thank you very much. I prefer you over the non-white Papa John. Let's go, baby.
Mainstream media, they reported it, but they never mentioned his nationality as an Israeli who was running a biolab in Nevada that includes deadly viruses. If that was a Muslim, it would be like all over the news. So basically, Mr. Dershowitz is telling us, if you're Mossad, you have like an out of jail card. And you know what? Maybe he's right.
Or a CIA. Or a CIA agent. That's true.
Mr. Dershowitz, I did not interrupt you a single second when you talked. So
like
after you're done with the gaslighting, please let me finish. First of all, I think like I'm now kind of leaning towards believing mainstream media, especially CBS and CNN under Barry Weiss and Larry Ellison. I mean, the evidence is there that he is actually a Russian asset. His girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, was the daughter of a Mossad super spy. He was represented by you, Mr. Dershowitz, Israel's favorite lawyer, who you're also a lawyer to the Mossad, which, of course, everything you tell us will be true. Ehud Barak was at his place the whole time. He fled to Israel when he was charged with sex crimes. And he was pictured wearing an IDF shirt. He was funded by pro-Israel fanatics. He worked for the Rothschild. He donated to pro-Israel student groups. He was responsible for the Wagner's group's pro-Israel philanthropy. He supported Israel's settlement project.
That's what I'm saying. Even if he did not receive a paycheck from the Mossad, or even if he was in, like, if he never set foot in a room with a Mossad agent, it would still be irrelevant because he acted like the ultimate Israeli super spy. Like, I don't care if he was directly contracted by the agency or not. This is an Israeli super spy, dude.
Projects. His friends were all Zionists. He referred to us as Goyim. He was involved in Israel diplomacy effort. He brokered security deals with Israel. And even a former Israeli intelligence Officer, Ari Ben Menashe, like Mr. Ryan Grimm said, he said he ran a honeypot for Israel. So yes.
Spiritually Mossad. Oh, that's fucking great.
Of course, he was definitely a Russian spy. It makes sense. You know what? By the way, Mr.
Well, you're a good comedian. You're a good comedian. This is very funny.
But I'm actually a huge fan of yours because I have known you since the 2000s. I mean, actually, you're one of the very few lawyers who are actually known in the Middle East. It's like watching a real-life courtroom drama lawyer. There's even T-shirts with your face in it in Egypt. And I've followed
thank you
for a while. And that's why I'm here today. When they told me Mr. Dershowitz is here, it's like, I have to be here just for the gaslighting, because the level of gaslighting isn't new. For more than 2.5 years, Mr. Dershowitz and his client, Israel, have gaslighted us in front of our eyes for 2.5 years with all of the destructions and the killing that we've seen in Gaza.
Also, they're like just to do like borderline reactionary, and this has nothing to do with their ethnicity, by the way. If anybody tries to do that, I will immediately ban you. Okay, the physical appearance of a Zionist versus an anti-Zionist, it works 100% of the time. The physical appearance of a Zionist and an anti-Zionist is just like, wow, like a literal 10 out of 10 gilf, right? And the Dersh.
2.5 years, Mr. Dershowitz and his client Israel have gaslighted us in
Is he a DILF or a gilf? Is my guy a gilf or a DILF?
Front of our eyes for 2.5 years with all of the destructions and the killing that we've seen in Gaza, but according to them, it's not a genocide, it's self-defense. He told us that every dead child is
not a genocide.
That the
it's
International
a blood libel
Court of Justice, I did not interrupt you, sir. That the International Court of Justice is a fake court, and Israel critics and anti-Semitic.
Now,
Mr. Jersey, please, I did not interrupt you. Don't interrupt me. I know that you're a lawyer and you do that. Objection,
I'm going to interrupt you if you use the word genocide.
Now, the Epstein files are public. People can read them. People can see the horrible stuff that you, again, are...
He's getting mogged so good, dude.
...gaslighting us. In your own word, you said that he's not a pedophile because he liked 15 and 16 years old, but not 11 and 12 years old.
No, I said 17 and 10 months.
People can read,
17 and 10
you
months.
can read the ages of the...
Shut up. Dersh, shut the fuck up, Dersh. Please stop talking. Stop fucking... Oh, my God. Stop, sir. If I was like like the judge in the case, and this guy's protecting a pedophile, and he's like 17 years and 10 months. If I was the lawyer, I would like, sir, you are this man's counsel. Please stop talking. You are literally sabotaging your case. Can you shut the fuck up? Strike that from the, what do they say? Jury, strike that from your analysis. I would be such a bad judge. Xi Jinping. I have not done this in a long time. I haven't gotten so many Xi Jinping. What was it? China song, Yugopnik. Where is it? Oh my God, where was it? Red Sun. Thank you, Xi Jinping. Thank you very much. Thank you, Xi Jinping. Thank you, Xi Jinping. Thank you for the 10. So I'll get some likes on this fucking underrated video. And let's get Pandas, one of the OG mods here, a subscription. Let's go. You got the link in chat. Thank you, Xi Jinping, for your Valentine's Day gifts. I thought you were not Catholic, sir. Why are you celebrating this holiday? Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The kids in the emails, they can read about the pizza, the ice cream, the
He
beef
wasn't
jerky,
convicted.
and you can see the connection with Israel. And yet here you are again, gaslighting us. This is your playbook, attacking the victims.
It's called
the Palestinians, Hamas,
It's
terrorists,
called truth.
Epstein victims, liars, prostitutes, drama students, and of course,
17 years and 10 months. 17 years and 10 months.
Say Hamas are not
Anti-Semitic.
terrorists.
This is like me. My car is 2021 September, but I always say it's from 2022. Like it's newer. It's like, ooh, fancier. It's not 2021. It's 2022. It's a new car.
you have a history
Well, you say
of
Hamas are
hiring
not
investigators to dig through teenage girls at MySpace pages looking for marijuana
what
photos.
lawyers
You
do.
called a 16-year-old girl a thief in the Daily Mail. You got Epstein 13 months in county jail with work release for abusing 34 victims where he should have got life in prison.
Two.
That's not a plea bargain. That's a spa package.
Just
And every
lying.
single
You're
time,
just
your
lying.
defense is the
I
same.
challenge
She's
you to
lying.
defend.
She wants money.
I challenge you to defend
don't
your
believe what you
statement
read.
that
You
he got
represented
18
Stop
months.
interrupting me, Mr. Dershowitz.
You're
You
just
represented
lying.
a Syrian
You're just
child predator
lying.
and got him the deal of the century. 2 women accused you under oath. You settled for nearly $1 million. Innocent men don't pay. They go to trial.
That's
You
another
know who
lie,
pays?
not a penny.
Guilty men
You're
with good
lying.
lawyers.
You're
Oh, wait,
defaming
you
me.
are the good
You are
lawyers.
now
So what
going.
does that
You are
make
now
you?
going
You
to
have
be
spent 50
sued.
years
You are
defending
now going to
rapists,
be sued
killers, and
for
every
saying
See by you, he's gonna sue him. Oh.
I
time
paid
you
$1
attack
million.
the law, come forward.
You're going to be
You
sued.
are a civil
And
libertarian.
I would,
You're not-
Pierce,
You're
I
not a
would
civil
recommend
libertarian. You
you
are
cutting him
defending the
off
innocent.
when he
You're not defending
says
them.
that I
You
paid
are a
$1 million.
professional gaslighter.
I didn't
Okay,
pay
Bassem,
one
Bassem,
penny.
Attack
That's a
what
Bassem,
we
you've
do
lie.
spoken-
and trust you instead.
Bassem, you've
Sir,
spoken for a long time.
Like Piers, I
Okay,
did not
Bassem, you've made
interrupt
it-
Mr. Alan
Bassem, you've
Dershowitz,
spoken
and
for a
he keeps
long
interrupting
time.
me.
Bassem, you've spoken for a long time. You've
Okay,
made a number of allegations.
there is going to be,
It's
I
only
can
fair
tell you
that Alan
right now,
Dershowitz can-
I am going
I want
to.
Alan
But he
Dershowitz to
keeps
respond.
interrupting
I'm
me,
gonna-
Piers. I didn't interrupt him.
Okay,
Even, you
I
can
am
cut
going
me
to.
off
Let him
if
respond
I
I'm
want
going to
a
make
long
it very
time,
clear.
But he shouldn't be interrupting
I'm
me.
going to make it very clear. I'm going to make it very clear. I'm filing a lawsuit immediately. I'm instructing my lawyers to file a lawsuit against him for saying I paid $1 million.
Holy shit, he's on his bed empanada arc.
What happened is a woman falsely
He is on his. I'm sorry for saying these two names in the same sentence. He's in his fucking H3H3 arc.
accused me.
This man has watched my videos without reacting. This is not a true. What's the word for it? This is not. He has attacked my intellectual property.
She admitted she may have mistaken me and confused me for somebody else. She dropped all of her charges. Not a single penny was paid. Nothing. And it's all in the agreement. All a matter
That's fair use. Apologies.
of
According to the New York
You calling me a pedophile is not fair use. I must. Okay, I can't do like. That's what I hate. I genuinely, even though I'm a fucking Balkan Slav. I don't know any of these ethnic categories, anything, but I still can't do it. Like when I'm doing an accent, I can't do an accent now when I'm making fun of this piece of shit because he happens to say that he's Jewish, right? I can't do the whole like nose thing. Not the nose thing, like do the Jesus. Now I'm just burying myself. I'm speaking like this, you know? I can't make fun of him like he sounds like a nerd ass bitch boy because then it's gonna sound like I'm doing anti-Semitism. You understand what I'm saying? If I don't like, I'm Dershowitz, I'm fucking stupid. What motherfucking kid is this, right? If I do that, it's gonna sound like I'm doing anti-Semitism. So I can't do that. But imagine if I did that.
You saying that
Not
I
according
paid $1
to the New
million
Yorker
is
2019.
He is a nerd ass bitch boy. I know. And I want to make fun of him for being a nerd ass bitch boy, but it could be perceived as me making fun of his claim that he is Jewish.
going to
19.
result in
I am
you
just
having to
copying what
pay
the New York
me
said. You go
many
sue the New
millions
Yorker.
of dollars.
Nasally, the word I think is. Thank you so much, Richard Nixon. Every sentence in history has been said on this stream. Nasally, yes, I think that is correct, Richard Nixon, said Yugopnik in the year of our Lord 2025, 14th of February.
What'd you say? Millions of dollars. What'd you say?
This is from the New Yorker.
The New Yorker never said anything like that. You know, you're such a liar. You know, I thought you were a comedian. I thought at least you'd be funny. You're just a liar. You're just somebody who is prepared to make any kind of anti-Semitic, anti-Israel statement, and you're willing to lie about it. Now, I want you to justify the million. I want you to justify that I paid $1 million. I want you to justify that. Will you justify it? Will you justify that I paid $1 million? Where did you get that piece of nonsense? Where did you make
the New
that
Yorker,
up?
Sir.
You said Hamas is not a terrorist organization?
If you want to sue someone,
you show me the New Yorker and I'll pay you $1 million. You're a liar. The New Yorker didn't print that. You're lying.
Okay,
why don't we take a time out now? Go online, get the New Yorker, and show the people that are listening, the good people, the New Yorker. You're lying through your teeth. You're a despicable liar, and if you said it under oath, you'd be a perjurer. There is no truth to what you've said, period, and I'm going to sue you.
Oh, come on. You do. Is that what you do?
Finally, I shut him up.
No, you didn't shut up. You're just like cutting me. Mr.
Chat, you know
Allen,
what you need to do. Chat, do your thing. Chat, let's make $1 million. Chat, do your thing. Let's make $1 million. $1 million now, chat. Let's go. Find the article. Let's make $1 million. I will share it 400 pieces. What is 1 million divided by 400? 1 million. Hey, Grok, how much is 1 million? This is 1,000. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Divided by 400. Everybody gets 25K. Yes, everybody gets 25K.
Went from I never got a massage on Epstein to I got a massage from a 50-year-old Russian woman named Olga. But I kept my underwear on.
My wife and I both received therapeutic. I received a neck massage back in the 1990s. I have never received an erotic massage in my life. I have never told a misstatement about this. And I want you to show everybody the New Yorker, the claim that the New Yorker said I paid $1 million. It's an outright lie.
Chat, where is it? Barry, you get 50%. All you cunts get 12K because Barry did all the labor. Barry's secretly going to give me half. So where is million? 1 million. Okay, million. Nowhere. He might be correct. Your window is closing. See offers. I can't. Oh, Jesus, Barry. Send me the archived version of this. Let's do illegal things live on chat.
You can look it up right now while we're talking. Show it to the people. Show them what you say the New Yorker said.
I'm waiting.
Look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It is called for people to search it.
Let's see it. Everybody can see it.
It's called Alan Dershowitz, Devil's Advocate.
Maybe it'll mitigate your damages.
By Coney Brock, July 29, 2019. You can read there. It's there.
Read me the quote. Read me the quote about $1 million. You can't find it because it's not there, because you made it up and because you're a despicable liar. And you're going to be sued. And if you want to mitigate your damages, then you'll show me the New Yorker. But you're not going to show me the New Yorker because everybody out there is going to look you in the eye and say, you lied on international television about Dershowitz paying $1 million and the New Yorker saying it. It is false. Categorically false.
Youssef referred to a 2019 New Yorker article about the case, though it's not clear where the claim about $1 million came from. Oh, shit. Maybe it's an L. Fuck.
I'm calling you a liar.
Sometimes I do that, and these fucking pieces of shit always, like, you tell 99 truths and you fuck up with one. You fuck up with the 100th claim, and they just go after your ass.
You can sue me for defamation, and if you can produce the New Yorker article, you'll win that case. But you can't because it doesn't exist.
No, sir, I can read it to you right now. I mean, it's there.
Yeah, read it to me right now. Read it to me.
Dersh is focusing really hard on the 1 million and not that he didn't settle for being a pedo. Yeah. Thank you, Mobius, for 15 months.
Let's hear.
Thank you very much, Mobius.
Okay. Do you have a second?
I have more than a second. I have all the time you want. Read me a New Yorker statement that says, I paid $1 million to the woman who accused me falsely and who admitted that she may have misidentified me with somebody else.
Small break, just to tell you, because we're at 1 hour 30. This is going to be the entire shill pitch. If we reach 2,710, I will show you my first Twitch trailer that you have paid for that Cuphead has made. First Twitch trailer. I know I'm very late and that, you know, who the fuck watches a Twitch trailer, but it's a nice little compilation of us being fucking idiots. So there you go. It will be bought by chat. If we reach 2,710 in the next 30 minutes, you will get to see the trailer before it's finished. Its final draft. And you can even comment on what you would like to see changed. But I doubt you will want anything. Okay.
You read me that right now.
Yeah.
Silence.
So, dude, it's a big article.
Profound
Wait.
silence.
Dude,
find me the relevant point.
Yes,
find
sir.
it for me. We have all the time in the world. Find it for me. Let's go. Find it for me.
She signed an NDA. There's no way you can prove I paid her $1 million. By the way, it was 1.2 million. 48 subs in 30 minutes isn't as bad as what I said. Thank you, Snoofkin, for paying forward. The best thing a chatter can do is pay forward. Thank you very much. We are one sub closer to the Yugopnik Twitch trailer, which is, by the way, a representation of the community more than me. So, ah, fuck! It still clips out, son of a bitch.
You can look it up. Google has, we would say, Dershowitz.
It's probably in the article, but he sued them to take it out.
It's $1 million.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
We caught you.
In 2015, when Jeffrey's allegation against Ghislaine Murdoch and Epstein became, okay. Just before a trial was to begin in May 2019, the amount was undisclosed, but Jeffrey reportedly received a multi-million-dollar settlement. The allegation went in...
Who did?
Wait, dude. Jeffrey.
Yeah, let's go.
Veronica Bell.
So you said I paid $1 million to the woman who accused me falsely. I want you to quote that from the New Yorker. And if you can't, admit you're a liar.
Say now.
Silence. Profound silence.
Dude, stop it. Stop.
Guilty silence.
Dude, it is a... Guys, yes, here it is. Oh,
no, it isn't. No, it isn't. You're lying. Silence.
Oh, here it is. In April 2016, the case settled. There was no such settlement. With the press reported that the agreement.
What case?
Wait. The press reported that the agreement included a financial arrangement, implying that Jeffrey's team had paid it. In fact, Dershowitz insurance company had paid Jeffrey's lawyers in negotiations. The parties has discussed a figure of nearly $1 million, with $50,000 going to Dershowitz, which would allow him to claim a payment. The final amount has not been disclosed.
But you know it. You know it.
In April 2016, the case settled with no such statement. The press reported that the agreement included a financial arrangement implying that Giuffre's team had paid. In fact, Dershowitz's insurance company had paid Giuffre's lawyers. In negotiations, the parties had discussed a figure of nearly $1 million, with $50,000 going to Dershowitz, which would allow him to claim a payment. The final amount has not been disclosed. Okay, it's interesting. It's unfortunate that became the main focus of the conversation.
Dude, this had nothing to do with Virginia.
You want to go and
this had nothing to do with the woman who accused.
This is like lawyering the fuck out of this, like lawyering his way out of this entire conversation by focusing on one potential fallacious argument and milking it so that all the other points that are completely legitimate sound like they aren't.
This is
exactly what Dersh does. That's what lawyers do.
This was a lawsuit between lawyers, and it had nothing to do with this.
Bobby Gree, thank you, baby. Thank you very much for the discounted Valentine's Day gift. And you're welcome for my 35% off Valentine's Day gift to you.
Accusation zero. You made up the whole story. The New Yorker never reported it.
Pay the lawyers?
They also paid me. There was a mutual settlement where both sides paid
where you got
sums to each
50,000 and
other.
they got like
Each
the rest
of us
of the million. That
received
doesn't
payments
sound like
covering
great.
our legal fees, and this was about lawyers. This was not about any accusation
you know what, guys?
against me.
I invite everybody to go to read the New Yorker article and see
So do I.
the pattern of lying that Mr. Dershowitz has done
it's
over the
false.
years.
So,
Well,
all right,
now
let
you're
me
gonna
get
add to the
involved now.
lawsuit. Now
Let
you're
me,
gonna add
all
to
right,
the
let me
lawsuit.
say
Okay,
something now.
Let's get back to the merits.
Alan, I want
This is the worst white noise to sleep to.
We know he's a liar. We know he's not a funny comedian.
Come on,
Go
liar,
ahead.
anti-Semitic. It's the same thing.
All
You
right,
just
let me pull it back to the bigger
picture. Why would I
picture.
believe you if you
Let
have
me
like
put it,
lied many
Bassem,
times?
let me pull it back. Let me pull it back. Alan, I wanted to just talk to you about something you said earlier, because there's been a bit of confusion about this, I think, in the public domain. You said in the end that the settlement that Epstein made pertained to a 21-year-old and a 17-year-old. But many of the contemporaneous reports about this settlement refer to a 14-year-old girl who Epstein had paid for a massage.
That was not
at his
part of the
mansion.
case.
So can
That
you
was
explain?
not part of the
because
case.
that's
The
what
indictment.
But that precipitated the investigation, right?
Let me tell you what happened. A 14-year-old girl was heard over the phone talking to her another friend about whether or not she could get a massage from an older man. That precipitated the investigation. But the investigation culminated not in any kind of an indictment regarding that 14-year-old. There was no evidence of it. And so in the end, the 14-year-old claim disappeared. The only evidence that they were able to prove to get a grand jury indictment was a 17-year-old and 10-month person and a woman in her 20s, an adult who has agency. Both of them in the indictment were called prostitutes. And he was indicted for paying money to soliciting two prostitutes, one of whom was 17 years old and 10 months. The 14-year-old was
right. So
never
the 17-year-old, but to be clear, legally, okay. But Alan, to be clear, the 17-year-old was a legal minor.
Of course, and that's why he pleaded guilty to it and went to jail for it. He deserved to go to jail.
And do you
for
believe?
17 and 10
do you believe?
Old. Yeah.
So I interviewed one of the legal team on behalf of some of these girls involved in that case, who said that he was offended about the characterization of any minor as a prostitute.
Well, then he should complain to the prosecution. It's what the prosecution put in the indictment. We didn't write the indictment. The prosecution put it in the indictment. They did an investigation. They found out that these were young women who were coming for pay, were being paid money to give massages. They defined that as prostitution. It wasn't us who did that. That was the prosecutors who did that. So that's all.
But when you say he wasn't convicted, okay. But when you say he wasn't convicted as a paedophile, he was though. If you do a deal that involves a minor,
look, you can quibble over words, but medical definition of pedophile.
Well, no, it's a legal definition, isn't it?
He pleaded. No, that's not the legal definition. The legal definition is underage. The word pedophile is never used legally for anybody who's 17 and 10 months. But we're quibbling. He pleaded guilty to 17 and 10 months. He was guilty of that. It's a despicable, terrible thing. He may have had sex with even younger people, but he was never convicted of that. He was never charged with that. He probably would have been charged with it had he stayed alive, but he wasn't. But let's stick to the facts. He pleaded guilty only to 2 charges of soliciting a 17, 10-month-old and an above-age person for prostitution. That's what the state charged him with. That's what he pleaded guilty to. That's what the federal government agreed would be the deal that would terminate the federal prosecution. That's what happened. He hated me for that.
If you have any sexual relations with a minor, but Alan, if you, you talk about quibbling, but if you have sexual relations with a minor, you're a pedophile.
No, well, I don't want to fight with that, because you can call him whatever you want. That's fine. You call him a pedophile, but no medical doctor, no psychologist.
I refuse to comment on whether I believe having sex with a child is pedophilia. Only normal people do this, and lawyers.
Will tell you that a 17-year-old, 10-month woman who's taking money to give massages is subject.
Before it was a person, now it's a woman, keep in mind.
to the other person being called a pedophile. But let's not get into that. Call him a pedophile. That's fine. He pleaded guilty to charges of having sex for money with a minor. Yes, he did that. And he did much worse than that. And he was a despicable human being who deserves no pity whatsoever. But that doesn't give anybody license to simply lie about what happened. For example, one of the papers in Israel, when talking about Ehud Barak, said he was convicted of having sex with a 14-year-old.
Dersh in his Jordan Peterson arc. What even is a woman?
No.
Remember that Jordan Peterson moment when he was like, what even is the environment? What even is the environment? You're constantly talking about environmental damage. What is the environment? What is damage? What are words? Do we exist? Can I have some benzodiazepines?
He wasn't. He was investigated for that, and the investigation terminated with no prosecution for...
What even is pedophilia? Why are you forbidding people from loving each other? One love, one love. My favorite arc for those of you who are younger in chat, those of us who lived during the era where like homophobia was mainstream, one of the main and classic, to you guys now it's cliche, but to us it was like the big thing. When I was young, that was the big thing. You know, how are we supposed to destigmatize homosexuality? Because if we destigmatize homosexuality, the next thing is zoophilia, bestiality, and of course pedophilia, right? Very cliche, stupid fucking thing that identifies criminal behavior, that identifies mental diseases with one of the most natural things in animals, in humans, and so on, which is homosexuality, right? So the big thing was if we give gays rights, then the pedophiles are going to come out of the woodworks and demand their rights as well. That was the big right-wing argument. It was if we let the left do what the left is doing, everybody's going to start fucking children. And now, the very same right that was supposed to protect our kids from predators has their Lord and Savior Donald Trump directly implicated in it, has their newest brand, the Groypers, implicated in defending said pedophilia, and has arguably the most right-wing government on planet Earth after the United States, the one of Tel Aviv and Israel, defending same predatorial behavior. All I'm trying to say is that the old school pitch that the leftists are going to lead to whitewashing pedophiles was pitched to us by the very same people that are whitewashing pedophiles now, by the very same ideology that is whitewashing predatorial behavior against our kids this very day. And you can't, it's an incredible script. It's very poetic, is what I am saying. Groypers are saying that Epstein is based. That's exactly what I mean. The gays were going to fuck our children. Turns out the Nazis and Zionists are fucking our children. And the capitalists that we have always fought against.
On the ads from last fall that talked about you should be able to marry who you love. That's what marriage is about, who you love. The question I leave you with, the question Minnesotans are asking, the question that can't be answered, is if marriage is about marrying who you love, where does that stop? Our statute has several other restrictions of who can get married, but if the premise is you should be able to marry who you love, that is a slippery slope. Vote no on this bill.
Exactly this. Thank you very much, Barry. This is fucking hilarious. The man who fucked children helped probably fund 4chan, which spawned the OG digital homophobia arguments linking pedophilia and homosexuality. Let me repeat that. A pedophile sat down with a guy and created a site that was supposed to link homosexuality to pedophilia. This is what always happens with the far right. They call us degenerates, and they do degenerate shit behind closed doors. They call us unpure, and they do impure things behind closed doors. They promise us safety, and they only deliver us violence and war. They promise us purity of ethnicity, race, and blood, and yet end up leading to the most deaths of the said ethnicity and blood they want to protect. How you can subscribe to that ideological tribe and not be a lobotomite, I will never understand. I will never understand.
A 14-year-old. Did he have sex with a 14-year-old? I have no idea. Maybe the prosecution.
18 minutes, subscribe, pay your taxes. If we reach our goal, I will show you our new channel trailer, which is very, very exciting. 35% off, only on Valentine's Day. Enjoy yourselves, kids.
As an idea. Maybe it's true.
Buy your
Maybe
fellow
it's not.
chatter a Valentine gift. Come on. Be each other's Valentines at 35% off. This is a great deal. Take that deal. I would take that deal. Is that a great deal? That's a great deal.
But it's not true that he was convicted of that. Never.
So what is your assessment, Alan Dershowitz, now of what Jeffrey Epstein did? And why is it that no really high-profile American men in particular have been brought to account for what was going on?
Well, one name has been. One of the names that was recently disclosed by Congress people yesterday was Leslie Wexner. And I think it's very appropriate to investigate Leslie Wexner. He went back to Jeffrey Epstein many years. Let me give you my assessment of what happened. Look, there were real victims, horrible victims, people who should never have been put through this, people who are underage, and I have tremendous compassion for these victims. But then there's another category of people.
This same man said earlier that if Epstein was a member of the CIA or Mossad, that he should have told him, and he could have got him out of jail for free, no problem, even if he did rape children. But now he feels really bad. I guess he wouldn't feel as bad if he was a Mossad agent. Rape for me, but not for thee, said the Lord upon his flock. Pedophilia was promised to me 5,000 years ago.
Women who
that one was fucked up. Even for me, that was too much.
25 who came back over and over again and received $150, $200. Then they went and they recruited.
Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper, 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 Big Mac, Whopper.
Damn, baby! I don't think so. Thank you very much for the 50. Cuphead, can I get that gamba shit? Can I get that gamba shit? The gamba has begun. We are celebrating Valentine's Day in style. Everybody say thank you. I don't think so. I don't think so. I trust you 100%. Could you please tell me if your gift subs cost $4 or more? And if they do, you can gamba and potentially ruin me financially. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can gamba and you can potentially double those. But only if they're $4 or more. I'm sorry for asking about the particular price, but that's the rules. $4 or more. Cuphead wants to ruin me. But before we do that, you guys have earned, thanks to I Don't Think So and all the other beautiful Oilers, you have earned the new trailer. It's wacky, it's stupid, it doesn't take itself seriously, and it's kind of nice and kind of represents the show. Everybody say thank you to our beautiful producer for getting this together. Let's check it out.
Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper.
That big fat butt. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I would love to get sucked off by a robot for eternity. What is this? What is this? Why has nobody sent me this? Good trailer? Is it good? Are we happy? Is it good? Is it good? I think she did a brilliant job. I think it was pretty decent. Let's watch it again. I think it encapsulates what we're all about here, okay? Except like it doesn't show any of the serious parts, but God bless. Is it a decent trailer? It's got to be in 40 seconds.
Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper.
That big fat butt. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I would love to get sucked off by a robot for eternity. What is this? What is this? Why has nobody sent me this? I think it's good, huh? I think it works. Should we do it? W in chat if you think we should use it as a trailer. L in chat if you think we shouldn't use it as a trailer. W if you think we should. L if you think we shouldn't. I don't think so. Says, I think mine aren't for USD actually. I will completely trust you, my friend. Like, go and try to, don't actually gift it, of course, unless you want to. When you click gift sub, it's going to tell you exactly how much it costs. And if it's less, I'll still let you gamba, but like we'll have to do 25 or something like that. Not a single L. Wow, not a single L? You guys really liked it? I'm so glad. Everybody say thank you to our producer, Cuphead, for making this bass thing. Thank you, Cuphead. You fucking G. Thank you very much. Bravo, Cuphead. I don't think so. Check. And by the way, not only I don't think so, everybody else can now officially spin one of the two wheels that we have because Gamba has begun. One is this one. The only ethical Gamba and the only legal Gamba completely following TOS on Twitch. We can spin this wheel, or we can always spin our OG wheel. Where is it? This one. Whenever you want a Gamba, you can pick the wheel you want to spin. On either or, here you can say black, red, or even or odd, and we spin. And on this one, you can also even or odd, and we spin. Those of you who do not know the Gamba rules here, they are a way to punish the streamer by forcing him to buy subs for the community and potentially also reward our amazing taxpayers and oilers by basically buying the same number of gifts that they have bought as well. Where'd you get that ski mask? From the internet. But thank you, sir. I don't think so. Whenever you know. Yeah, I did the currency conversion and it's less, but I'm down to Gamba for less. How much less is it? Is it half? Let's do 25. Let's spin 25. Let's start out with a 25. Let's start out with a 25. Thank you very much for being honest with me. That's very kind of you because you can fuck me up the ass and not in a fun way if you lied to me about this. So, let's do a 25. Even or odd, you got to tell me old roulette, new roulette, and then what you're gambaing on. It is Gamba time. We are spending Valentine's Day in the casino, chat. We're spending Valentine's Day in the casino. Tell me, I don't think so. Tell me which way? Black. We are putting 25 subs on black. And, wait, okay, 25. And, ladies and gentlemen, we are spinning. Wait, no, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Even though I won, that doesn't count. Please shut up. I'm very sorry for blowing out your eardrums. Okay, we spin 25 on black, even though I just won. Oh, okay, I was fair. Did that do 12 twice? Thank you very much for trying. I don't think so. Gamba at 35% off today. At 35% off today. Yugo 1, chat 0. Throughout the rest of the stream, at any point when anybody gifts more than 5 subs, they can gamba in the same manner. Thank you very much. 2 reds at 12 is crazy. Yeah, 12 red twice is... If you put it on red, you would make me bankrupt. Okay. Let's continue with this. In the background, always a reminder that you can gamba. Let's make this a nice Valentine's Day stream. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I don't think so.
Recruited 14 and 15-year-olds.
Thank you for being honest. I love the fact that you were honest about it.
For Epstein, and they were paid to recruit for Epstein. These people should also be investigated. They may have been victims, but they were also perpetrators. It's a lot grayer than the black and white of victimization and survivalization and all of that. It's much more complex than that. But there's no justifying what Epstein did.
But yeah, sorry for interrupting you, Dersh. We got a new channel trailer. That is sick as hell. That is very nice.
It was terrible. It was awful. I wish I had never laid eyes on that SOB. He's an awful, awful human being. That's the job of a criminal defense lawyer, to defend and get the best deal. I thought I got the best deal. He thought I got a terrible deal.
Bassem Youssef, what is your wider view about the Epstein scandal and the, so far, very limited accountability for other people involved?
Well, you see, I'm actually like, the FBI just dumped millions of unredacted or redacted Epstein files on the public and said, you know what, here you go, have fun. It's like a scavenger hunt. Like you expect, like it's kind of like a TikTok challenge. Can you find the pedophile? You have the FBI, you have the DOJ, you have unlimited resources, unlimited power, unlimited budgets. This is the biggest sex trafficking scandal in modern history. Billionaires, politicians, royalty, and all hanging out on Pedophile Island. And the US government response is like, hey guys, let the internet figure it out. What is this? A group project? Are you serious? You want me to do your job? You want some guy on Reddit cross-referencing flight logs at 2 a.m. while he's eating Cheetos? Like, you want TikTokers playing a game of Clue. Hey, it was Prince Andrew. And it had...
And it completely follows the Project 2025 rulebook of overwhelm. And that is not a cliche take on my end when it comes to this. That's literally the case. Why? Because when you give the quote-unquote masses access to this, 10% of them will get all the wrong conclusions, but they will be very loud about the conclusions. The conclusions will be very conspiratorial. They will be very overdone. They will be very cringe, for the lack of better words. So, when you want to dissuade everyone from considering the true magnitude and scope of what was just released, you then show those people and you say, come on guys, are you really saying the same crazy shit that they are? This is like lizard Jew pedophiles ruling the world? Really? That's your pitch? This is fake news. Come on guys, you're fucking stupid. You're with the flat earthers on this. What the fuck are you doing? That's why you do these mega dumps. That is the main reason you do these mega dumps, because then you can obfuscate the truth by relating everybody who's pointing out, like, oh my God, this is an insane case, by relating those people with the conspiratorial freaks. And it works. It works really, really, really well. Works really well.
I think a massage with the undergird. What is this?
So when does anything get done? When you hear that your president and your financial elites are insane pedophiles that work together in a borderline suprastate fashion, and you riot. That's when you lose your fucking minds and you show it to them in a non-violent way. Twitch. That's when the FBI is not going to do anything. The CIA is not going to do anything. The State Department's not going to do anything. Your legislative sector is not going to do anything. If you, the masses in the United States especially, don't do anything when you have proof that there are billionaire cabals proactively influencing the government, and then your government does nothing about prosecuting everyone involved, or if not prosecuting, firing every person with a government position that is in any way involved with the files, then nothing is going to happen. I'm sorry to tell you this, but nothing is going to happen. If I've ever heard of a case that demands complete and utter like mass hysteria, is this one. And except for posting content online, we don't have mass hysteria on the streets. There is not enough hysteria when it comes to this case.
It is not the job of private citizens.
Thank you. I don't think so.
To figure out clues. I don't understand. Is the FBI too busy to do their job? Here's what should have happened. They should have released the name. They should have arrested predators. They should have held the trials, like a functioning justice system, right? But instead you give us 4 million trillion documents with no index, no categorization, redactions everywhere, then say, hey, good luck with that, guys. Let us know if you find anything. Wallahi azim, not even a third world country dictatorship would do that to us. In third world countries, they would release nothing. Keep us in the dark, like a self-respected dictatorship. But this choose your own adventure bullshit, this figure it out on your own.
Yeah, because it works better than just hiding it.
What kind of service is this? The government takes half of my money so I can do its job, and then sends the other half to Israel. This is just dysfunctional, And I'm just and my wider view of this, my first time I appeared with you, Piers, I talked about how Israel is like a narcissistic psychopath, and it went viral because people felt it. Because you see, narcissists don't just lie to you. They create an entire alternate reality and pull you into it. That's why it's called the narcissist shared reality. The narcissist builds an alternate, highly controlled reality and pulls other people into it. And in that false reality, the narcissists are always, they're special, they're misunderstood, they are victimized. Yeah. And Israel does this on a national level for decades, right? They have told us we're the victim, we have no choice, it's self-defense, And in the same thing now with Epstein. It's a shared reality. Oh, maybe he's a Russian spy. Maybe he is. It's right in front of our eyes, and we have to go through these mental gymnastics and figure it out. It's right there. Nothing is gray, Mr. Dershowitz. Nothing is gray. Genocide is not gray. Sex trafficking is not gray.
I agree with you. And it wasn't committed. Genocide is what was committed.
I understand that you are a lawyer.
What's committed in parts of Africa. Genocide was committed many times.
Let Alan respond.
Why do you keep cutting me off?
Let Alan respond.
It's weird to think about how this vulgar chaos works better than ordered society. Also so fucked. My theory is a weird one. And it's not necessarily even backed by, a dialectical materialist analysis. It's me just doing Freud on the masses, which is kind of cringe. And it's the following. We always knew this. What do I mean by this? We always knew that they fuck kids. We always knew that they know each other. We always knew that they streamline governing from the shadows. We always knew that they talk to each other. We always knew that they help each other out. We always knew that they were freaks. We always knew that they were insane, evil, inhuman degenerates. And when all of this was released, the reason we didn't feel as much shock as one would expect is because we weren't shocked. And that is fucked up. We saw the files, we were like, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. So we had pre-normalized to ourselves that the world is governed and led by people such as this. And when we found evidence of our stereotyping of the elites, let's call it that. I hate using the word elites, but in this case, I guess I should, because it's not only capitalists. we were like, oh, okay. Yeah. That's my take. That is why revolution is almost always produced by incredible material suffering. You think that the plebs and the serfs and even the fledgling bourgeoisie before the French Revolution didn't know that the aristocrats are shoving pineapples up children's asses and fucking their child servants in the villas and mansions and courts of Paris. They did. But for some reason, we kind of normalize the demonic nature of our class enemies. The only time when we actually rise up en masse is when we don't have any fucking food left, or because there's a war that we just do not want to send another son and daughter to, etc., etc. Eyes Wide Shut was a documentary, yeah. Eyes Wide Open. Turns out that's a better policy to governing us and doing whatever the fuck you want. I don't have proof of what I'm saying, but that's how I'm seeing it. I'm going from myself, and I'm going from a conversation I had with my fiance when all of this happened. She literally said, "Oh yeah, that tracks." I remember specifically noticing her saying that. I'm like, "What the fuck are you saying that tracks?" She's like, "What? You didn't think they were insane fucking, child fuckers?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I did, but come on, now we have proof." She's like, "Yeah." I don't know. What's up, Akkad? Nice to see you, bro. Hey, Hugo, this is a great video. It's about how AI is compounding the problems caused by capitalism by the tech in of itself. Tech in of itself is completely problematic, but rather it's a tool. And right now it's being used for exploitation and alienation. That's what I always say, my friend. The AI hatred is misplaced. I'm adding it to the list. Thank you very much. Adding it to the list. And I agree with that. I agree completely. We talk about this all the time here. Technology in itself, anything in of itself, does not carry moral good or moral bad. The way it is utilized defines whether it serves a particular group of people versus another group of people. Damn it, stupid. You're not stupid. What the fuck are you saying? Did you hear about this? Pizza Famine sends a link and I click. Thank you, Chief Supreme, for the 16 months. What an incredible name. Erica Kirk with new grooming claim over alleged messages to 15-year-old. What the fuck? Political right-wing activist Charlie Kirk's widow has been no stranger to controversies ever since her husband's death last year in September. She has now found herself in the middle of another fiasco where her old messages have been going viral to a 15-year-old girl. And the screenshots of, the right wing will not care. The screenshots of Erica's interaction with the teenager, one could see her being extra friendly and joking around with the young girl. The 37-year-old former Miss Arizona especially sent some intimate texts and jokes, as seen in the screenshots, which have sparked grooming allegations. Where are the screenshots? See the screenshots. Where are the screenshots? Where are the screenshots? Where are the screenshots, though? Even though the said account of the 15-year-old is still active on X, the last post was made back in 2014. A screenshot also revealed pictures of the former reality TV star sending chocolate-covered strawberries to the 15-year-old, along with a birthday card with a handwritten message. Needless to say, some social media users poured in their reactions towards the new grooming allegations that have come up against the TPUSA CEO. One of the ex-users said, "This is disgusting and criminal behavior." Erica Kirk applying for a fashion job. There's nothing more important than an education. I have the entrepreneur. Erica Kirk to young girls. Get married, stay at home, and have lots of babies. Can I get links to the actual claims? I want to see the posts. If you have them, chat, please. Mods, producers, blah, blah, blah. Do you hear Hassan is going on a flotilla to Cuba to deliver supplies? Extremely based. Yes, I have. Absurdly based. Putting his mouth where... putting his boat where his mouth is, I guess. Very based. There's no discussion there. You can like or dislike Hassan, I guess, but on that topic, you shut the fuck up. Like, the guy's doing good work. Also, hopefully, I will be interviewing him in the beginning of March for a new show that I'm starting that nobody knows anything about. I'm so excited.
First of all, let's be very clear. Genocide has a
okay. You know what? I can just like log out because
genocide is not fighting a war. You're allowing me to respond, please. God. Genocide is fighting a war.
No, you didn't. You responded. It's my turn to speak. You keep cutting me off.
Let me respond,
please. This is not your courtroom, Mr. Dershowitz.
Are you going to let me respond?
No, you didn't let me respond.
So here's the point.
Okay.
You're not going to let me respond.
You know what? This is just like it's
let me respond.
Useless. No. I will not let you respond because you didn't let me talk.
You're not going to let me respond. You're not going to let me respond.
And I will not let me...
The Britoy that just fucking...
talk. It's just like childish at this point.
So, well, we can't continue then. If he won't let me talk, we can't continue.
You are not letting me talk.
Filibuster me by his lies.
He is sabotaging the interview by consistently cutting me off.
The man who runs this show wants to give me an opportunity to respond. Will you give me an opportunity to respond? Let me explain to you what genocide means.
Chat, please don't throw shit at each other on whether you like or dislike certain figures. You're very welcome to like or dislike certain figures in the space. But this is not the place or the time. And I don't allow that type of shit in this community. I'm not a fucking Voshite, okay? We're not going to do dick measuring here. Thank you. I love you and I respect you. Please respect the rules.
Genocide is the willful killing of an entire population in order to wipe out the population. The way the Germans and the Nazis took little babies from the Isle of Rhodes, put them on trains, transported them to the gas chambers to kill them, unrelated to war efforts. Genocide is not dropping an atomic bomb in Hiroshima. It's not bombing Berlin. It's not bombing Japan. And it's not what Israel did in Gaza when Hamas hid behind civilians. And Israel, notwithstanding that, they had the best ratio of combatants to civilians of any war in recent times.
What if the closest country by ideology to Nazi Germany was actually the Allies? My name is Dershowitz, and I'm definitely not doing historical revisionism. What if Nazi Germany was actually the Soviet Union? Oh, Lord. My guy. Tel Aviv is Dresden, boy. Tel Aviv is Dresden, my guy. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God.
If you take all the Hamas figures, it's less than 3-to-1, probably closer to 1-to-1. At worst, it's 2-to-1. Most wars, it's 10-to-1 or 8-to-1. So there's not even a plausible claim of genocide. Only anti-Semites and people who are willing to engage in a blood libel are prepared to compare what Israel did defending itself
I will do blood libel
in Gaza with what Nazis did in Germany, killing 6 million Jews, Roma people, people from all countries.
Hungarians, people from all...
Those were genocide. What the Muslims did in...
fucking Slavs never getting mentioned, son of a bitch.
In Turkey, killing the Armenians, that was genocide. What's going on now in Syria against the Kurdish people, that's genocide. These aren't war-fighting defenses. That's genocide. But when a country tries to defend its civilians by killing terrorists who are hiding behind civilians and civilians die, you could call it a lot of things, but the one thing you cannot call it is genocide and maintain your credibility as a decent human being. That is a blood libel to call it genocide.
Okay, you've all right. You've both made your.
I didn't make any points. I really didn't make any points.
I'm going to come to you, Bassem.
The Soviet Union is led by a Bolshevik revolution that is not the legitimate state of the Russian Empire. Therefore, the carpet bombings of Leningrad, Moscow, and Stalingrad, and the wholesale invasion by the Wehrmacht on the Soviet territories cannot be deemed genocide, for they were fighting against the Bolshevik terrorists. Bolshevik terrorists that hid behind 20 million civilians. No, what was it? 13 million civilians, 13 million Slavs, they got fucking murdered. And around 7 million Soviet Hamas soldiers. That's the same argument. Like that's the argumentation. It's arguments being made by the imperialists to dehumanize. We've talked about this so many times. I don't want to debate fucking Zionist talking points. It's too easy. It's boring. It's garbage.
Bassem, I will come to you to respond. I just want to point out that on the Epstein scandal, what is quite telling is that the prediction markets, which people follow closely these days, Polymarket asked, will anyone...
Einsatzgruppen were small beans, man. Well, that was fun. You're funny, bro.
Be jailed over the Epstein...
It's actually only genocide if it's from the genocide region of Germany. Otherwise, it's sparkling mass demographic-based murder. The fact I know exactly what this joke is referring to makes me proud of having you in this community, bro. Fuck, I love you guys. Not just because it's Valentine's Day. You are ruining my relationship with my IRL friends, though. They're all such absurd normies, dude. Like, we just talk about fucking whiskeys. And, man, did you see that DJ last night? And I'm coming in here, motherfucker, dropping, like, a parallel between champagne conversation and mass murder as a very eloquent joke. Inferring on how only Germans can do genocide and no one else. Just, wow. Low-key, I should log off. Communism will abolish Valentine's Day because every day will be filled with revolutionary love. Aww, cute. That is very cute. Katyn massacre is more important than Auschwitz. The Soviet Union must be invaded. There you go.
Disclosures. It reached a high of 48%.
No, you can make it worse. You can make it worse. You don't have to use an actual event that did happen, like the Katyn massacre, and I'm not going to deny it. You can be like the terrorist attack by leftists on the Reichstag was the German October 7th. So we must kill 20 million Slavs. They burn down the Reichstag. The Bolschewismus müssen zerstören werden. Wir werden Moskau zerstören. Ja, ja. Ich habe einen kleinen Kobas.
At the beginning of the month, but it's now down to just 17%. And the Trump administration did, of course, promise, including on this show, that we'd see many prosecutions. It does seem quite extraordinary that now it's looking more and more likely that nobody will be jailed other than a woman, Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, Bassem, you can have a final response to... Well, we need to see it, I think. Bassem...
What was the Katyn massacre? The Soviets basically completely eliminating the Polish leadership after the Poles did some silly things, as they say. A very 20th century solution to a more complex problem, which, to an extent, motivated a lot of Poles to be hyper-skeptical to the communist revolution, blah, blah, blah. You have a lot of Polish people in chat. They can tell you a better story, but yeah. We can learn from events such as that in future revolutions. Only the deepest of reactionaries deserve... No, I can't say anything on Twitch, actually. No, I can't say anything.
You'll find a response.
I'd like to see it too. I'd like to see a complete, thorough investigation. Anybody who committed crimes, including falsely accusing people of crimes, should be put in jail. And anybody who committed crimes, pedophilia or anything else like it.
Nowadays, we have intelligence apparatuses that can allow us to limit and segregate real reactionaries from people that were just, in particular governments as bureaucrats, et cetera, as to limit the damage and fallout of the mass arrests of reactionaries that is necessary. And of course, at least I do not believe in the death penalty whatsoever. And during a revolution, all of those who give up, et cetera, through a proper dialectical materialist lens, will be allowed only after they prove to us to re-enter society that they have been healed of the reactionary disease. It feels good to LARP. But now I'm off topic getting too much, but it feels very good to LARP about, ooh, man, communist death squads, we're going to do crazy shit. Nah, leave that shit in the 20th century. We are, let's be more, I don't want to use the word delicate, but let's be more efficient. And, but it does not undermine, I'm far from a utopian, that does not undermine the fact that actively combating reactionary sentiment in the first 100 years of a revolution is exceptionally necessary. Hence why we call it the dictatorship of the proletariat. Okay? All politics will be debatable. All politics will be open to discussion. True democracy will be introduced, but true democracy in the scope of a worker society. Any political option that chooses to fight for an alternative to a worker society will be treated the same way a workers' movement is treated in capitalism. Alternatives to capitalism are not allowed to enter the political mainstream. And they will simply not be allowed to enter the political mainstream in a socialist society. That does not necessarily mean, unless they take up arms, that they will be incarcerated or whatever. We can learn from our enemies, the capitalists, that have created a much better solution to stomping out political alternatives. And in a socialist society, the stamping out of reactionary political alternatives will simply be defined through a quote-unquote constitutional, call it whatever, workers' constitution, which will not allow, you don't have to call it constitution, many words can be used, it will simply not allow a non-pro-worker society party, organization, or anything of that sort to enter the political mainstream. It will simply not be legal. And that's it. And if you want to enter it, you will be told that you cannot. You will not get the paper that you get to sign. And if you pick up arms, you will be a terrorist and you will be dealt with accordingly. Thank you very much, Xi Jinping, for the 5 gifties. Thank you very much. Because you're anonymous, we cannot Gamba. Reminder, everyone, we are in Gamba, 5 gift subs plus, and you can potentially double them. They're 35% off for Valentine's Day. We spin this little wheel or this little wheel, and you can punish the disgusting streamer and force him to buy subs for you. It's very fun. We love doing it. It's very, very fun. Thank you, hard worker. No Gamba, just spreading the love. I mean, you got to do 5, but thank you very much for the love, my friend. Thank you for your taxes.
Should be put in jail.
I don't know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I think I am proposing a very, let's call it, ethical solution to reactionary sentiment in a worker society. I don't think it's not even about ethics. I don't think it's efficient for the state and the intelligence apparatus of a worker state to continuously need to react to, I don't know, neighbors snitching on neighbors about, oh my God, I think he's a fascist. Like, what? You know how much money that requires? How much manpower that requires? No. You want to sit in your house and fucking scream about how communism bad? Do okay. You want to scream it on the street? Yeah, okay. The same way capitalists allow us to go on Twitch and scream about socialism. Sure, go on the internet, scream about that shit. You can't scream about particular things that require an actual education, like medicinal stuff, blah, blah, blah. That will be banned. There will be no free speech on those topics, unless, of course, you have certification. But when it comes to your political hot takes, etc., you have free speech for sure. But the same way as workers' movements have no voice in, for example, a capitalist election, they will have no voice when it comes to being elected to join the Workers' Party. Or maybe if there's multiple workers' parties, depending on the material conditions on the ground of the worker society, they will not be allowed to participate in it because it is counterthetical to the socialist constitution of the state that we are trying to create. I think that is very chill. I genuinely don't think we need to do the whole... even no matter how cool it looks, fucking guys in leather coats breaking in your door because you said that the president kind of low-key sucks. To an extent, kind of Cuban style, yes. It's a very legalistic approach. I mean, all of them are legalistic approaches. It is based on how you define, what is allowed politically and what is not allowed politically. I just think it's inefficient. I don't even want to start talking about ethics or whatever. Inefficient for us to just be running around and literally policing everyone's political hot takes. The fuck, what the fuck are you doing? Unironically, the fuck are you doing? No joke. What? You will have no time left for anything else. Obviously, here I do not include those that proactively work for foreign governments and, Cold War 5.0. That will, of course, happen after the next successful revolution hopefully comes to fruition. Those will be deemed as enemy combatants. And you know what happens with enemy combatants. That's not up for discussion whatsoever. But yes, serious conversations like this, actual theory time, not just theory time based on, let's read from a book, but actually theorizing about future prospects is what you're here for, I hope, on Yugopnik Twitch. But also you're here for Gamba. So let's fucking Gamba as well, man. It's a little bit of pleasure, a little bit of serious. 5 subs plus. Let's hit 2,800 today. For Valentine's Day, 35% off. I'm a bit greedy, but hey, why not? Literally, why not?
Jail, and I hope they are.
Okay.
Do McCarthyism against capitalism. Literally, great point. Unironically, literally. Yes, literally that. Literally that. Literally that. Though not to an extent, we shouldn't need, no, not literally that. You can have your job if you don't like the system. You can be a movie producer if you don't like the system. You can run your little worker co-op bakery if you don't like the system. For sure. You cannot you cannot participate in political life as a representative of an anti-socialist movement. That's it. It's illegal. To make it as simple as possible, the way you can prosecute someone for somebody that is in politics for calling somebody the N-word and losing their fucking mind and doing insanely racist shit, and you can prosecute them because they are, literally breaking the law and being a bigoted cunt. In the same way, you will be able to both prosecute or remove them from political life if they agitate for reactionary social sentiment or anti-socialist systemic reform. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Back in the day, that was very difficult to do, and they resorted sometimes when necessary. Sometimes they really overdid it to just everybody that's a suspect. We knock down doors. We learn from past revolutions. We adapt.
On that, we're all agreed. Bassem,
this shows the screenshots from earlier. Was Erica trying to groom this 15-year-old girl? This isn't normal behavior for a 25-year-old adult to talk to a 15-year-old child this way? Source needs to see let's see this.
Erica struck up what I view as a very odd relationship with the 15-year-old girl named Jillian. At the time, she was 15 when she met Erica. In my opinion, Erica's behavior was predatory and it needs to be exposed. Her interactions with Erica, and I was alarmed at how much interest Erica showed this child. She was 15 years old. She seemed to be very impressionable, immature, and vulnerable at the time. And this grown woman, meaning Erica, should have set clear boundaries with her, but she didn't. As a matter of fact, she crossed boundaries with her quite a few times. Why did @EricaFrancvi just send me this? Laughing emojis. And there is a photo which says, "This Valentine's Day, I am going to touch your butt."
What?
Remember, this girl was 15 and Erica was 25. In my opinion, the relationship seems like grooming. Jillian posted this tweet on March 6, 2014.
That is insanely inappropriate. What the fuck?
So Erica says, "Let me call you. Hold on, sweetheart. Give me a sex. Wow." And then Jillian says, "Okay," and puts laughing emojis. Erica then says, Sex too, but not from you. LOL. Holy
Okay, that one,
shit, laughing emoji. You always make me laugh.
That one,
I don't bat for the other team just yet. What?
Oh, shit. So, okay, the last one then ruins it. I was like, okay, it's a joke. But then the other one is weird because I don't bat for the other team just yet implies that the reason she wouldn't have sex with this 15-year-old is because she's not into, women, not the fact that she's 15 years old. That is weird. That's fucking very weird.
LOL. Holy shit, laughing emoji. You always make me laugh. I don't bat for the other team just yet. What the fuck? This text
What's the other team? Pedophiles?
exchange gave me chills. It seems like Erica was flirting with her. I don't bat for the other team just yet. And this conversation is happening at night, 8:50 p.m. What the f are you doing texting this girl so late at night with all of this fucking sexual innuendo? What the f is wrong with you? It gets worse. On March 13th, 2014, Jillian shared another screenshot of her text messages with Erica. Erica says, "I forgot to tell you, hydrate tonight. No alcohol, and don't eat a lot of salty foods. You don't want to look bloated." Jillian then responds, "Thank you." Erica says, "No alcohol." Really, Erica? Age recognition, you twat waffle. Apparently, I haven't had my coffee yet. What the hell, Erica? Laughing emoji. Well, on that bite, ... Note, damn you, Siri. Come on, hashtag the struggle. What are you trying to say, laughing emoji? Spit it out, you twat waffle. How on earth could she have forgotten that she was messaging a child?
Why are they all so fucking weird, man? I'm fucking cringing so hard. Wait. Fuck. Sorry, that felt really bad. Oh, God. Thank you, Alparo. Thank you for the prime. That was bad. That was bad. But we are reaching 2 hours and 30 minutes. So, wait. This Valentine's Day, Yugopnik Twitch gives you 35% off on subs. Not only that, but gives you a discounted gambling experience. How much more lube do you need to support this show on this holiest, horniest of days? 5 gift subs plus, and you spin the wheel of love and potentially gift more and more chatters. Look me in the eyes, and not only me, but your fellow chatters as well. Spin that wheel, give them a nice V-Day. Feel good and warm all over, and make them feel appreciated. Oh yeah, subscribe now. Son of a bitch. I hated doing that. You better make that worth it, motherfuckers. Okay, let's spin that fucking wheel. God damn it. Thank you, Decrepit and Thin, very much. I guess it worked on Decrepit and Thin. Thank you for the 10 months. Do it. If I made $0 from doing that, I swear I am. I basically asked you to be my Valentine, and you just let me fucking standing there with my proverbial sub in my hand.
Final word to you.
I think that Epstein.
Okay, Comrade K, thank you very much. Do you want to do the romantic spin? Odd or even, and which line? Come on, Comrade K, odd or even? All on red. I don't think so. Do me that way, baby. Do me that way. 5 have been won by our dear, dear friend. Let us give 5 to the community. Everybody. Wait, shut up. Okay, I need to concentrate. I'm getting too into it. Okay, first, Comrade K earned you 5 subs. Thank you very much. Here's the 5 subs. Congratulations, congratulations. Afghan Nation, Afghan Nation. Now, the fucking legend, the OG, the cheap but nonetheless impressive 50. Thank you very much, my dear brother. As we agreed earlier, brother, sister, NB, I'm sorry. I will count yours as 25. Do you want to gamble them? I don't think so. Or is it just a gift for your digital Valentine? Oi, oi, oi. I am blushing. Blushing indeed. I don't think so. Sure. Okay, my friend. Which do you want to put it on, baby? Yeah, baby. Don't blush too hard. Okay. Tell me, dude. Tell me. Which one? And we will do a romantic spin. 12 on red, 13 on black. Wait, sure, we can do that. Oh, no, we can't do that. Fuck you, no. We can't do that. Yeah, and then you win 100%. No. You gotta, if you wanna disperse them, you can disperse them on the numbers. I am up for 3 numbers dispersing, motherfucker. Otherwise, you can either all black or all red. That was nasty. You can put them on numbers. You can put on up to 3 numbers. That was that was getting me right as I'm fucking horny. I'm not. Almost. Son of a bitch. Almost got them. Come on, I don't think so. Come on. The casino, the romantic casino is waiting. Tell me. Come on. Game tester. I'm gonna sick the Twitch mafia on you that runs this casino, also known as Cuphead. 25 on black again. Okay. Valentine's Day Gamba. Jesus, please don't lose you though. And we start. You son of a bitch! Okay, son of a bitch. Congratulations, Afghan Nation, Son of a bitch. Our dear friend has won you guys 25 subscriptions. Oh, God, that will hurt. Thank you very much, Tenebras, for the 5 months. Thank you very much. 3 Twitch Mafia, wild tour. Bravo. That was well done. And I put my money where my mouth is, okay? So right now, I am losing bad. Yugo 1, chat 2. Congratulations, Afghan Nation.
Island showed us that in
Thank you again.
order to be powerful,
But also fuck you.
to be compromised. And as long as you are compromised, only then you can stay powerful. This is the conclusion of all of this. None of these people go to jail. There will be like a couple of fall guys,
Okay, we watched all of this.